Hi, this is Todd of Black Spaces, home of the unique sci-fi critique. Thank you for your support. To please the algorithm spirits, please like, comment, and subscribe to help Black Spaces thrive. Episode 5 of Star Wars Ahsoka was fantastic, and Jedi Master Ahsoka was spiritually teleported, or at least had a force vision of the world between worlds. But once I thought about it, I saw a lot of commonalities between this world between worlds and the Ancestral Plane of the Black Panther series. While the Star Wars World Between Worlds and the Black Panther Ancestral Plane are from different fictional universes, Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, respectively, here are at least 9 similarities between the two. Origins in lore. The entire Star Wars saga stems from George Lucas's respect for human lore, especially the work of Joseph Campbell, who was a scholar of comparative religion and mythology. As a student of George Lucas, Dave Filoni borrowed the World Between Worlds concept from the Chronicles of Narnia of C.S. Lewis and the Woods Between the Worlds. Black Panther, as first created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby of Marvel Comics and then Ryan Coogler's film series, incorporates elements of African spirituality and ancestral veneration, and thus the reason for the ancestral plane. In many African cultures, there's a strong belief in the presence and guidance of ancestors. These beliefs often involve rituals, ceremonies, and the communication of the spirit world. Spiritual portals. In both cases, characters can access these dimensions through spiritual portals. In Star Wars, the world between worlds is accessed through force-sensitive artifacts and locations such as the Mortis God's Mural or the Lost Jedi Temple of Lothal. Although Ahsoka may have simply force-willed herself there in Episode 5. In Black Panther, characters can access the ancestral plane through the ingestion of the heart-shaped herb and a ritual, sometimes in the Black Panther temple. Submergence or baptism. Both Ahsoka and Black Panther may include a process of the spiritual traveler being submerged, buried, or baptized, if you will. Ahsoka was buried or submerged in water when she was plunged off the Cetos Hinge Cliff. King T'Challa was buried in the sands of the heart-shaped herb temple in the first instance, and a bed of ice of M'Baku's Jabari land. Killmonger was buried similarly in sand before destroying the heart-shaped herb garden. Because of Killmonger's destruction of the heart-shaped herb, Shuri had to artificially be connected to the ancestral realm through a synthetic creation of the herb and emerged underwater. That might explain why she was confronted by the disturbing image of Killmonger and the burning of her realm. Animal figures. In both the World Between Worlds and Black Panther, there are animal figures that greet the traveler and thus have access to this realm. Specifically, the Loth wolves play a significant role in the World Between Worlds. Loth wolves are a unique species of wolves that are native to the planet Lothal. In Star Wars Rebels, it is revealed, especially through Ezra Bridger's travels, that these wolves have a mystical connection to the Force and the World Between Worlds. The visual of multiple Black Panthers standing together in the ancestral land symbolizes the continuity of the Black Panther legacy and the idea that each Black Panther is connected to their ancestors who have held the title before them. It reinforces the sense of tradition, heritage, and responsibility that comes from being the protector of Wakanda and its people. Spiritual, not temporal, planes. Both the World Between Worlds and the Black Panther Ancestral Plane represent mystical and otherworldly dimensions within their respective universes. These dimensions are not bound by the laws of time and space, and have a strong connection to the spiritual and supernatural aspects of their respective story. In the Star Wars Rebels episode, Twilight of the Apprentice, Lord Darth Sidious said, "This mystical realm connects all of time and space, creating a conduit between the living and the dead." Those who control this plane would possess mastery over all of existence.
It's not about time travel, isn't it? It's really not about time travel at all. It's just about a place where everything comes together and you hear different things echoing throughout time.
Dr. Llewellyn Morris, she explains the logic of the Black Panther Ancestral Plane. Quote, "For West African cultures, religion was a way of life, where people were immersed in a spiritual universe, manifested by the material realms of the senses and by the realm of the unseen, inhabited by spirits, ancestors, and the dead." Ancestral Legacies. Both dimensions provide a connection to the past. In the world between worlds and the ancestral plane, characters can sometimes interact with and influence events, such as Ezra Bridger saving Ahsoka in her duel with Darth Vader. Characters can communicate with and receive wisdom from their ancestors and understand their ancestral legacy, whether at times affirming or disturbing. Characters who enter the dimensions often experience moments of reflection and receive guidance or insights. In the world between worlds, characters like Ahsoka Tano receive guidance and make important decisions. In the ancestral plane, T'Challa communicates with his father and other ancestors for advice. Both dimensions hold symbolic and spiritual significance within their respective narratives. They represent a deeper layer of understanding, the exploration of one's heritage and the connection between the living and the past. Demon Confrontations, to live or to die. In both dimensions, spirits, from the Mortis gods to dead anti-heroes, demand heroes confront their inner demons, troubles from the past, so that they can have a transformation and move forward. Some Star Wars commentators speculate that the Force may have compelled Ahsoka in Episode 5 to go on a spiritual journey to resolve her struggles with the part she played in the brutal and bloody Clone Wars, her leaving the Jedi Order because the Order falsely accused her of a crime, and her master Anakin turning to the dark side. She literally fought her master Anakin with the choice to either live or to die. With the Black Panther series, King T'Challa confronted the spirit of his father, King T'Chaka, because the old king hid the terrible secret of accidentally killing his brother in Jobu in order to keep the amazing technology of Wakanda hidden from the world. Killmonger was confronted with a sense of loss and abandonment he had against Wakanda for the death of his father, and Wakanda not rightfully using its technology to liberate all black people. And Shuri was confronted by the death of Killmonger, and eventually the spirit of her mother, Queen Ramonda, telling her not to seek vengeance against the queen's killers, but to allow King Namor and his Aztec-inspired kingdom, Atola Khan, to live in peace for the good of both kingdoms. Hero transformations. In both Ahsoka Episode 5 and the Black Panther series, heroes who have successfully passed their spiritual test will emerge transformed. Once Ahsoka won her fight against the spirit of her master Anakin, she, like Gandalf of Middle-earth, emerged transformed as Ahsoka the White. Once T'Challa confronted his father's legacy of secrets and hidden death, he emerges as the true Black Panther. Shuri also emerges as the true Black Panther once she confronts her own fears of her brother's death and her family's past. Only Killmonger, the ultimate anti-hero, remains restless, but even in his battle to the death with T'Challa, we see that Killmonger finds peace knowing he died valiantly, like his enslaved African-American ancestors who were cast over the sides of slave ships. Powerful new alliances. In both Ahsoka Episode 5 and the Black Panther series, heroes emerge from their baptism to create powerful new alliances. Ahsoka cements the bonds between her calls to find Ezra and Grandmaster Thrawn in a distant galaxy by using the Force to communicate with the ginormous, warp-traveling Purrgil whales. The lead whale agrees to hold her ship in its mouth, like Jonah, as it and its pod likely travel to the distant galaxy.
T'Challa emerges as not only the true king of Wakanda, but as an ally to the world.
and especially to Black people, by sharing the technology of Wakanda and establishing community outreach centers in Black communities such as Oakland, California. Shuri emerges as the new Black Panther and creates a powerful alliance between Wakanda and Namor's Tolakan Nation in their fight against the new colonialism of the US and other Western nations who want to steal their advanced technology and resources such as vibranium. In both instances, a peace arises that creates a balance with nature, whether it's space-traveling whales or war rhinos. Please comment and tell me if you think I've missed any Easter eggs of one or both franchises. And again, like, share, and subscribe to help Black spaces thrive. Peace out.